Well, hello again. Name's Kamya, Daddario, and for those who do not know me, I am a writer, creator, illustrator, blah blah blah. I don't know what to call myself, and I don't want to talk too much. I just want to jump right straight to the point, which where we left off in the previous video. So I don't want to talk too much. Just some few things that I should tell. I'm I'm a writer creator. I created a series of books and I'm inputting them on my YouTube channel, on my personal YouTube channel. So it's part by part. It's one, two, three. So do see them part by part, or you will not understand them at all. This is the second part. So if you haven't seen the first part, go watch it, then watch this one. And yes, that is all the things that I needed to say. So yeah, let's jump to the conclusions. Um, See, I don't correctly remember what was it that we were talking about, what I was reading in the previous blah blah blah. But I know we were talking about the time, but do watch the past video and you will figure it out. Then jump to this one, and yeah. So let us begin. I won't talk too much in the third one. I'm just gonna say a little stuff. I apologize, and those who can, I'm gonna start reading. And those who can be the masters of time can indeed control all of creation with ease. Utterly it was on that very moment that the mighty creature formed the first universe of many universes, mayhaps out of the instincts of joy from creating and birthing, truly forming Merkar and forming the time to existence. Truly time was a perfection just like Merkar was, and the joy of seeing that wrought is unbearable, much unbearable that might bring out the instincts and the will to create something like a universe, a world, a domain, a realm. The lady creature stood at the edge of the void with Merkar, and upon that very moment like the creature pulled its own hand up, and at the brink of its own fingers like the one pushed together its two fingers against each other, like the one pushed its fourth and its fifth finger against each other, and then opened its fingers in an instant. With doing so, this mighty creator formed the first universe out of nothingness. As small as the size of the mighty creature's fingers this universe was. Then mighty creature pushed this universe with its two fingers once more, and then opened them and released the first universe inside of the void. The first universe became as large as the void itself. This universe could not stand inside of the void. Also, the edge of the void was like a platform, which was going to be a connecting spot from the void to other realms and domains. Like the creature realized his flaws and how to make them right. Thus, like the one used his power and once more made the first universe as small as his fingers. And this time, like the creature went farther to the edge of the void. Like the one was about to push the first universe out of the void into the reality. Universe came out from the void and took its rightful place, just like a bubble when it takes its form. By what the Mighty One did, the first universe was formed, and with the tossing help of its creator, this universe was pushed out to the reality. It came to existence. The first universe came out from the void and took its own place, just like the time when a bubble takes its form. If there was time in the unphysical realm, this act would have taken a millennia, an eon. But within the void there was no time to be spent. Thus this massive act of creating took only an instant to be complete. And that is why the void was also called as the timeless realms. Merkar witnessed the creating, but he could not achieve it himself. He wanted to create, but he could not. He tried his best, but he could not. He failed. Thus his mind altered and became spiteful. God of knowledge felt a sensation. He sensed something he did not know before, something dark and self-consumer, something evilish and perfect, called jealousy. that why could his life giver create, but he could not? Perhaps that was indeed the first darkness, the first influential evil which poured its and wrought itself to existence by Merkar. Through Merkar, its source was to be the god of knowledge, its source was to be the sensation of him, and his source and influence for the creation and the void was to be things that are perfect or are a path to perfection, such as jealousy. Jealousy was an dark evil thing. Yes. I should work on this. It's taking a bit too long. Yes, this is a picture that look like the situation that I described, but it's not exactly the same thing. I found that from internet, so it's just for entertainment. I'm going to read the rest of it. But it could not have rehabilitated a person in certain ways, and aid those who use jealousy to I'm lost. And aid those who use jealousy to obtain perfection. Its source was to be perfection, a path to perfection, like Merkar was. We were talking about jealousy, of course. Dark evil thing, yes. Thus, Merkar became desperate and obsessed with the thought to create something of his own, and those dark jealous thoughts of him rehabilitated him, and turned him into something which he was not from the beginning. His mind became dark, and he hated like the one's work. At his current state, Merkar did not hate the lighty creature, he just hated like the one's doings, its works. But the future is always unknown and uncertain, and the situation can always circle and alter to a complete different variety. Thus Merkar desperately sought to create a creation of his own, but he could not. The ability to create life or supremacy wasn't within him. He wasn't like the lighty creature. In fact, Merkar was more alike with the void. In simpler words, he wasn't the pen to draw. He was in fact the paper to be drawn upon. Thus, even for the God of knowledge and wisdom, there are still answers to be seeking, to be resolved. And Merkar sought to find the solutions for his desperation. This universe was not as most know now. This was an empty domain, realm, world, universe, needed to be filled with numbers and ideas. Many in the distant future recalled the first universe to be like the creature's own domain, cause this realm was shiny and bright beyond all domains or realms to become in the distant future. In simpler words, this universe was just an space. Thus, without realizing, Light the One created the space itself. To fill this universe there was a need for more species and more beings. So thus was that this Light the Creator once more began thinking, and from his thoughts came other beings like Merkar, immortal spirits, holy ones, holy spirits, gods. The Light the Creature saw the vision, and from the vision it knew things should be based on something that connects all to each other. Light the One counseled and consulted its troubling thoughts with Merkar, and tried to use his mind for his own goal. At least, that's what the Light the One perceived and thought to itself. Light the One saw Merkar as a tool, a thing, like the void was for itself. Light the One saw him as an object, a god, a source, an influence for his creation, not as a person. Light the One perceived that and understood him and all others like him as objects, tools for his work, not personalities. In other words, all things have feelings, whether they are places or personalities, yet Light the Creature saw them all as objects. This was this was like an experiment for the Lighty One. Lighty creature didn't know what it was creating, nor did it understood them, or even the true wisdom and meaning of the void. The Lighty One saw all of them as tools and objects, not personalities, whether they were places or actual personalities. To Lighty One's eyes, they were indeed all the same. Thus, it didn't matter to the Lighty One that how they are feeling, or they are hurt, or even they are asking anything. Lighty One did what it wanted to do, and didn't attend to them, nor cared for them, or their needs, their wants. I'm exhausted. I'm very exhausted. This picture, I think, is from Lord of the Rings. I think, I don't remember. So, this is the last page, I believe. Without caring for others and their feelings, simply, we were talking about like the one and how it was feeling about them being objects and blah blah blah. Without caring for others and their feelings, simply like the creature was careless to all but itself and things like itself, which those things did not exist upon those moments. Thus like the one was careless to all but itself. Thus it will not ever understand Merkar or anything like him. Merkar aided Lighty One and advised it to his own benefits, yet he made the Lighty creature to believe that he is serving Lighty One with honesty, and he is advising Lighty creature to Lighty One's benefits. But the God of Knowledge was practically wiser than the Lighty One. Lighty creature thought that Merkar is its creation, and its creation serves itself with his full potential, and with honesty listens to his creator and obeys all things which the Lighty One wants and asks. But in fact, Merkar took advantage and aided Lighty One in a perfect way that made the Lighty creature to be interested, that suits to Merkar's own vision and image, to his own vision, to his own benefits, to Merkar's. He guided Lighty One to a path which shall bring supremacy to himself above all. And that connecting wisdom which the Lighty creature was looking for was suggested personally by the God of Knowledge himself to the Lighty One, and Lighty creature indulged it. And indeed, Lighty creature was wrong to trust Merkar, perhaps even a fool, like an infant who is unexperienced. In truth, we cannot trust anyone but ourselves. No matter how good they look, still we cannot trust them, and the Lighty One will learn that soon enough. That wisdom, however, was that all things, if they are to become perfect, they need to be based on certain numbers, which can combine all of them together and bring order to all. Law, the 7, the 9, and the 3. Symbolisms, a series of numbers which are unconditionally connected to each other. In truth, it was Merkar's idea, and it was his wisdom to base things on certain numbers to bring perfection. He was acting either for the benefits of the creation or for his own, but either of the way, his influence on the Lighty creature did wrought perfection to the creation. He was the prime, the first, thus his wisdom and perfection brought prime and first. Many things of the first universe was based on Merkar's ideas and suggestions. Of course, once in a while, there were times which the Lighty creature didn't agree with him, disagreements, but most times God of Knowledge managed to convince the Lighty creature to his own benefits. For example, Lighty One knew that this idea is wrong, yet Merkar showed the Lighty creature that if his ideas are to be denied, then there will be further and further problems concluded. Or if the lady one didn't agree, he altered the idea to ways that he could change in the future himself with ease. Thus he altered those ideas and turned them the way that they seemed fine for the moment, but they could have been altered to his own benefits. Either way, whether it was for Merkar's benefits or Lady One's, either it was win for the God of Knowledge, even if the Lady creature didn't see it for what they truly were. So this is all the things I happen to think. I think this is the last pitch. I am exhausted. Tell you the truth, I had some mistakes, flaws. So this was the third or fourth or even fifth time that I was reading this. My voice is bad. And thank you for watching. Do leave me comments, give me your opinions, and I will look them up and I will try to reply as well as I can, as soon as I can. And yes, you've been a wonderful host. I keep you updated. Farewell for now.